Star Trek's most underrated villain was RoboCop. When people think of Star Trek's greatest villains, the usual names surface: Khan, Noonien Singh, the Borg Queen, Gul Dukat, Lore. These characters are etched into the mythology of Gene Roddenberry's vision, embodying everything from tyrannical ambition to existential threats against individuality. But one of the most chilling antagonists ever to cross paths with Starfleet isn't usually mentioned in the same breath. That villain was portrayed by none other than RoboCop himself, Peter Weller. Weller, the actor best known for his iconic role as the cybernetic enforcer in Paul Verhoeven's 1987 RoboCop, twice brought his steel-eyed gravitas to the Star Trek universe. First, he appeared in Star Trek Enterprise as John Frederick Paxton, a xenophobic industrialist who despised humanity's growing ties with alien species. Later, he returned in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek Into Darkness as Admiral Alexander Marcus, a smiling Starfleet leader with a chilling authoritarian streak. Neither character gets the same fan recognition as Q or the Borg Queen, yet both performances reveal how terrifyingly effective Weller could be at embodying Star Trek's most underrated villains. To understand why, it's worth unpacking the legacy of Weller's performances and how RoboCop's moral DNA followed him into the final frontier. From RoboCop to Star Trek, a legacy of cold authority, Peter Weller's claim to pop culture immortality came from RoboCop, where he played Alex Murphy, a Detroit police officer resurrected as a cybernetic enforcer of corporate law and order. Murphy's story was tragic, stripped of his humanity, turned into a product, and forced to navigate the thin line between machine efficiency and human morality. That performance showcased Weller's uncanny ability to blend empathy with icy detachment. His physical precision, the rigid head movements, the stilted gait, the deadpan delivery became RoboCop's calling card. Yet beneath the robotic shell was a flicker of humanity. Audiences believed in Murphy's struggle to reclaim his soul. It's no coincidence that when Star Trek needed villains who embodied cold authoritarianism, who cloaked oppression in a veneer of logic and order, Weller was called. Both Paxton and Marcus feel like dark mirror versions of RoboCop's themes, men who willingly embrace the machine-like efficiency of control without the moral compass that Murphy fought to preserve. John Frederick Paxton, the human supremacist. In Star Trek Enterprise's fourth season, Weller stepped into the role of John Frederick Paxton in the two-part episode Demons and Terra Prime. Set just years before the foundation of the United Federation of Planets, Paxton is the leader of the xenophobic organization Terra Prime. Unlike cartoonish bigots, Paxton is frightening precisely because of his composure. He speaks softly, calmly, and with conviction. His grievance isn't madness, it's ideology. To Paxton, humanity must remain pure and resist dilution by alien influence. His fear is that Earth's identity will be erased under Vulcan tutelage and Andorian alliances. Weller gives Paxton a chilling gravitas. He doesn't rant or rave, he persuades. He commandeers Mars' Verteron array and broadcasts his message across Earth, revealing a human-Vulcan hybrid child, the genetic offspring of Topol and Trip Tucker, as an example of what he believes is a betrayal of humanity's future. Paxton's power as a villain lies in his resonance with real-world xenophobia. He isn't just a space racist, he's a reflection of demagogues who exploit fear of the other to consolidate power. What makes him so unnerving is that his rhetoric isn't framed as wild-eyed hatred. It's clinical, delivered with the same calm certainty that Weller once used to issue RoboCop's directives. And yet, Paxton is a coward. Behind his rhetoric of protecting humanity, he hides medical weakness, an illness treated with alien technology. The hypocrisy is deliciously Trek. Weller's performance lets Paxton be both charismatic and pathetic, the perfect symbol of small-minded prejudice standing in the way of humanity's greatest destiny. Admiral Marcus, the wolf in Starfleet uniform. Fast forward to J.J. Abrams' Star Trek Into Darkness 2013, and Weller returns to Trek, this time as one of Starfleet's most powerful men. Admiral Alexander Marcus, head of Starfleet Command, is the epitome of order and authority. At first glance, he seems like a benevolent patriarch. In truth, he is a warmonger, manipulating events to ignite conflict with the Klingon Empire. If Paxton represented fear of the alien, Marcus represents the dangers of unchecked militarism within supposedly noble institutions. He revives Khan Noonien Singh from cryosleep not to rehabilitate him, but to weaponize him. He builds the Dreadnought-class USS Vengeance, a battleship designed not for exploration but for conquest. Weller plays Marcus with a polished menace. Unlike Khan, who roars and postures, Marcus is composed, matter-of-fact, even paternal. His cold pragmatism makes him terrifying. To him, war with the Klingons is inevitable, so better to prepare by embracing tyranny than risk being unprepared. In one unforgettable sequence, Marcus tries to kill the Enterprise crew, not out of passion, but out of bureaucratic efficiency. He speaks of hard choices and sacrifices with the same detached cadence RoboCop once used to recite directives. It's chilling because it feels so plausible. The RoboCop connection, humanity versus the machine, both Paxton and Marcus are logical extensions of Weller's RoboCop legacy. Where Alex Murphy struggled to preserve his humanity against the dehumanizing force of the machine, Paxton and Marcus fully embrace machine-like thinking. Paxton reduces humanity to bloodlines and purity, treating diversity as contamination. His worldview is binary, human or alien, pure or polluted. Like a machine, he calculates outcomes without compassion. Marcus sees morality as expendable in the face of efficiency. To him, the Federation's ideals of peace and cooperation are naive compared to the cold logic of preemptive militarism. In a sense, both men represent what RoboCop might have become had Murphy lost his soul entirely. They are RoboCop without redemption, humans who willingly adopt the cold detachment of machines in pursuit of control. That connection makes Weller's casting in Star Trek genius. Audiences who remember him as RoboCop subconsciously project that association, making Paxton and Marcus feel all the more menacing. Why Weller's villains are underrated. Despite their chilling effectiveness, neither Paxton nor Marcus are widely remembered when fans list Trek's greatest villains. There are several reasons why. 1. Limited screen time. Paxton only appeared in 2 episodes of Enterprise, while Marcus had a single film. Characters like Gold, Dukat, and Q had years to cement themselves. 2. Overshadowed by bigger names and Into Darkness, Marcus shared the stage with Khan, one of Trek's most iconic antagonists. Inevitably, fans focus on Benedict Cumberbatch's fiery performance over Weller's restrained menace. 3. Too close to reality. Unlike flamboyant villains, Paxton and Marcus are uncomfortable mirrors of real-world demagogues and authoritarian leaders. Their terror isn't escapist, it's familiar. That subtlety often makes them less fun to remember, but more chilling upon reflection. Yet, in many ways, that's what makes them so effective. Star Trek has always worked best when its villains highlight human flaws. Weller's performances remind us that the greatest threats to the Federation aren't always alien, they're human. The quiet horror of authority. What makes Weller's villains so underrated is the way they embody quiet horror. Unlike Khan's bombast or the Borg Queen's seduction, Paxton,